Hi, I'm Jack Devine. Welcome back to another episode of Jacksnax. Today we're going to snack on the topic of vibrato. Not the stationary type where we fret a note and make it wiggle, modulate, whatever you want to call it. We're going to bend up and then apply that to a bent note. 1 fret, 2 frets, 3 frets, 4 frets. Okay, we're going to work on our bending accuracy and then apply the skill of modulating the pitch that we've now achieved. Okay, so how did this lesson come about? Through the comment section of another video, a viewer reached out to me and paid me an amazing compliment, saying that he really appreciated what he referred to as my top of bend vibrato. I had never heard that term of art before, but good enough for now. Why don't we use that? Once we reach the top of our bend, how we treat that note is really key to it being, successful within our mission as a musician, right? To please the listener and ourselves, right? So Drew, this one's for you, buddy. All right. I hope you get something out of the lesson. All right. So here we go. Let's focus in on that D note. All right. Now we're not gonna let's make it easy for ourselves. Rather than coming here, let's take that same note up an octave. All right, the more centralized this is, the easier it is. It's easier to bend here, okay? This is just less tension. As we come lower, it gets harder. So you'll find that you have to use more or less force, depending on where you are on both the string choice and the register, like where within the neck you're bending, okay? And heaven forbid you learn all this stuff and then switch to a short scale guitar, then you're gonna have to reconfigure your muscle memory as well. What we're really working towards is developing not hand-eye coordination, but hand-ear coordination. We're training our ear to recognize and send messages from our brain to our hand, okay, that's far enough to bend, that's in tune, okay? We're trying to recognize effectively the same way a photographer has to use a manual focus and be able to snap into focus quickly, like that's it, I'm locked in on what I want to focus in on, and I want to teach you how to do that, okay? The way I would teach this, okay, is that I would set up either a drone track, like a tempura, so that would be, just like a droning 1/5 in a key, and then I would hit the note, and then I would practice bending up to it and holding it. Or you can, if you have a fixed bridge guitar, you can hit the note and do a unison bend and wait for the 2 notes to ring without any beating. Beating? What's beating? Here, listen. Yeah, it's vibrating against, that means you're not in tune. When that awful sound disappears, that means you're looking good. There we go. That was a little flat. So just a little bit, you're gonna hear it beat. Okay? Remember how much energy you're having to put into your hand to achieve that sound. And also, your ear and your brain have to remember what it sounds like to be playing correctly. If it doesn't, it's gonna have a hard time telling your muscles how to reproduce that sound time and time and time again, okay? This is a beginner lesson, but even advanced players struggle with vibrato sometimes, and especially once we achieve an in-tune bend, how to apply vibrato to now a bent note, all right? So my thoughts on the matter is, once bent to pitch, okay, then we can talk about vibrato. So first, let's work on getting D, and then we'll go to C sharp and we'll bend up to it. Okay, D, C, and bend up to it. Don't worry about the vibrato yet. Just get in tune. D, go back to B, minor third. Okay. Then major third. All right, I think that's right. All right, that one takes quite a bit of energy. So where is all that energy coming from? Well, it sure as heck isn't happening from these little wimpy muscles in your fingers. It's not about your fingers, okay? Don't use your fingers. Just use your fingers to hold down the note. Come from the side, clock this area of my arm, in particular, right here. This muscle is probably doing the most of the heavy lifting, and also our wrist. So watch, here's that whole step bend. So See how all of a sudden there's this, I'm not in the best of shape, but you can see the arm kind of tightens up. Okay, we're engaging these muscles to do the bulk of the work here. We're not gonna rely on these little wimpy muscles to do it. The second you do that, you end up with this nervous kind of, that shaking thing, and you know, it's not pleasant, okay? Get the big muscles doing it, and this just holds down. How do we push the string up is also an issue. Create a fulcrum with this knuckle of your thumb, this kind of broadest knuckle. If I flatten it out, right, like that flat part, not the bent down. Hang the hand there and press up, not into the neck, but up across the neck. Obviously, we're gonna have to exert some down pressure to fret the note. But once we're there, we wanna get some support behind it, not just one finger, okay? Although you do have to ultimately learn how to bend a whole step with an index finger, right? That is a skill. But for now, let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's use our ring finger. Pinky, it's, you know, that's a good one to get to as well. Middle finger as well. So let's bend up by pressing towards and up towards the thumb. And we're pointing towards that fulcrum that we've created with that second knuckle. All right, now we're in tune. Now we're gonna release a little bit of the pressure. And again, we're just gonna wiggle from the wrist and control it, very slight motion. We're not looking for a big wide vibrato for the top of bend vibrato typically. At least that's what I think Drew was hitting on, all right? I don't think that Drew wanted to know how to do like a whole step vibrato back and forth. That is a skill. But that's somewhat of a drastic, and I guess it would be, that's for a special occasion, okay? This is an everyday event. Is once bent up into pitch, how do we make the note move a little bit and sing, okay? So, just a little bit, that's like less than a fret, okay? All right, so we don't wanna go too far, but we wanna make sure we're doing the same amount and the same rate, or at least that we're capable of going the same amount and the same rate. You can speed up. We could start with a slow vibrato and then speed up. Or start with a fast one and play with it once we're in there. But generally speaking, once committed to, you want to stick to the depth and the rate, okay? So that means as far down as you let the pitch come, you want to go that far every time. As fast as you decide to move the note, you want to do that every time. If you wobble around too much between those two parameters of pitch and depth, rate and depth, you're going to have a nervous experience. It's going to sound uncertain. That tentative sound is what we're trying to avoid. We want a nice, confident, and controlled vibrato. So we've already in theory, we should have already mastered getting into tune from 1 fret, 2 frets, 3 frets, and 4 frets. But once we're at pitch, how do we handle it? Again, we let the big muscles back here do the work. We lock our fingers down and press up the neck, not into the neck, across the neck like this, right? We're pushing up. And we're pushing up into a fulcrum that we form with our thumb. Okay, so we bent up, and now we let that happen. And we try to stay nice and consistent. But remember, practice bending into tune first. Then apply the sauce. Drew, I hope that helped you. If it did, hey, do me a solid, subscribe to my channel, all right? If it didn't, I don't know what to tell you. That's how I would approach it, and I hope that this helped, okay? Anybody else, if you've got questions or comments, please get involved. Leave them down below. I wanna know what you think. I wanna know what I can do and bring to you to help your playing go to the next level, all right? I'm gonna sign off now and get back to doing my own playing and practicing. But I hope that you'll tune in often and stay happy and play a lot of guitar and come back to Jacksnax for, you know, tips and pointers and transcriptions and all sorts of stuff. All right? Take care of yourselves and stay happy, okay, folks? Bye-bye.